Hello, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Michael.
We are Some of Everything Everything, and you're watching.
Toasted.
Hey, talking again about the political situation right now. What do you think of the whole Trump thing? And
Mike loves it.
I can't believe he's got this far. I mean, he didn't win the caucus thing, did he? Right. And but he says that's because he didn't do an important speech there. But yeah, I mean, it's just total joke. If it was anywhere else in the world, it would just be a laugh. And I think for most Americans, he is a joke. But unfortunately, there's enough Americans that actually take him seriously. And now there's been things in the press saying that he joked like 20 years ago about if I was going to run for president, I'd run as a Republican because they'll vote for anyone that Fox News goes on about, and it just shows just like,
Literally calling your voters stupid,
Yeah.
and then they vote for you.
amazing,
Yeah, I think a lot of people are doing it because they're pissed off with one thing or another, and they know he's a clown, but they're kind of doing it so that everyone else kind of goes, "Oh shit." Obviously, some people do like him, but I think a lot of it's kind of like Nigel Farage, where it's just kind of like, let's just do this because it's funny, and it'll scare the establishment.
Well, he did.
but if he becomes president, then it's like really not funny anymore.
Do you think he stands a chance? Actually,
You would
he
never say
wouldn't be
that.
welcome in the UK though.
He wouldn't be welcome, but I think we are still going to let him in, even though a lot of people signed a thing to say that he was kind of spreading hate speech, which I think he was really. But of course, it's not really the UK's point of view to close down debate. We pride ourselves on being open-minded and free speech, as as long as people aren't getting, as long as people aren't inciting hatred or whatever. But I think it would be a travesty if he became president. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd have Bernie Sanders be the president, but then for some people that's laughable for other reasons. So, he calls himself a socialist, which in America is quite.
Suicide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty bold. Um,
But did you see the voters? The voters he got were like, I think maximum age was 35 or something, and in that age group he scored like 89%. And all the older Democrats were voting for Hillary, of course. But that means that there's an interesting schism going on right now in politics in America. Young people vote to the extreme, left and right.
well, similar
Yeah,
in
well,
Britain.
we have the same thing with Corbyn. It's kind of strangely similar, actually.
Yeah,
We
and
have,
we have the same in Holland as well.
yeah,
Things are getting more extreme, I think, maybe, and more tribalistic. Yeah, the supporters of Corbyn, who's left wing, are younger and more idealistic. And then there are the people like Nigel Farage on the far right who actually got a decent following, which is really strange. So
and the same thing in France, obviously, and all over the place. I think it's something to do with in the wake of everything collapsing financially, everyone just gets angry and tries to change things, and you choose left or right and kind of go for it really hard.
yeah, it's scary really because it's born out of fear and people thinking, oh, things are going wrong, so let's look for something in like an extreme, like desperate times, desperate measures sort of thing. So they start looking for more extreme people to kind of keep people out of the country and all this nonsense. And yeah, it's just kind of, and then maybe on the other side you have people like Jeremy Corbyn, who is kind of representing a more compassionate politics, and they're just totally opposite. Kind of almost like if something exists, you need to have the other opposite to weigh it. Yeah, which is I suppose a good thing, but I mean also we could talk about this all day. But in Britain, our political part, the two main ones, Labour and the Conservatives, were very close. Really, by the time Tony Blair and
And that's happening in America. You can hardly put a piece of paper between the Democrats and Republicans, really.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just what the hell's the difference?
Nothing.
Yeah.
So why are we voting anyway? Huh?
Well, it's true. I felt like that at our own election. I thought, what's the point? In what's the difference rather than what's the point? But yeah, you just got to kind of remember what it used to mean to support that party.
You're at least some good songs came out of it.
Yeah, but they're all about being confused and all about being in this current state that everyone else is in. I haven't got any answers, unfortunately.
yeah, it's a very strange time at the moment because politically it feels like the system isn't really working, democracy not really working as it used to, and even capitalism. Like maybe this is just me, but I feel like that's not really working as well as it used to, and people are starting to kind of think that's a bit empty and broken.
Yeah, well, it's crazy that it's a finite thing, and that, oil is a genuinely finite thing, and so's the current way we're using it. Like, I mean, it won't ever actually run out, but we won't be able to use it in this way for much longer, and everything is going to change. Everything in the whole world is going to change, and everyone's unprepared for it.
There's some exciting stuff. I mean, I like the way Tesla is building the electric cars now. It's getting popular. It's really, finally, there's like something that's a glimpse in a positive way of how the future can be. Clean cars, no more poisoning in the air. Cars that can do amazing stuff, Actually, and you think like, well, we could have been there 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, they've been stopped in lots of ways, haven't they? So,
Of course.
yeah.
Another thing I read, also funny. In America, the Republicans now think that Trump is a Trojan horse planted by the Democrats.
Yeah. I've heard this. It's great. And vice versa. That Bernie's like a straw man or whatever put up by them to draw their ire and stuff like that.
Well, life is better than fiction, probably. Hey, I was thinking, you wrote 17 songs, of course. Well, you think 6 are not as good as the other 11. Still 17 songs. Still some great stuff there.
Wrote more, actually, than that.
Exactly. You probably wrote more. You guys write a lot. Are you still writing? I mean, you're on the road. I think there's inspiration everywhere.
This is a good time to write, especially when you're with another band who are drawing massive crowds every night. It makes you go out every day and think, why is this good? What's the best thing about this music? And it's really inspiring, yeah.
So what is the best thing about Falls?
I think it's somewhere between sex appeal and attitude. It's not really, it can't talk in musical terms. It's something to do with their...
They're more macho than we are, I think.
It's not quite sex appeal, but it's to do with... It's not even the image. It's very difficult to describe. But they have a certain attitude towards making music and playing together that's very different to ours.
Yeah, it's kind of, like Led Zeppelin was described as tight but loose. They're a bit like that in a way. And they extend songs and things, and they're just a bit wilder than we are. But they're more in the tradition of like a proper rock band, when we're kind of a bit too weird to fit into anything like that. But they don't really like being called a rock band either. I think they, there's more facets to them as well. But it's been interesting just seeing their route from like a pretty weird post-rock band playing little house parties and clubs to playing proper arenas. It's pretty rare, and they've done it very well because they've actually kept their dignity. It's quite hard to open up your audience without getting terrible.
But is it something you guys aspire to yourself? I mean, would you change your music or the way you look or find a concept in order to draw a massive crowd?
I think
it's great to be popular, but
at the time when I'd say absolutely not, but I don't really care as much. I think I wouldn't do it if I thought it was crap, but if I did it and thought it was good, and I thought younger me would think that was very uncool, I'd think, well, fuck him. I think this is good now. So what if it's, I don't know. My attitude changes all the time. I don't have any desire to just be a shit band.
Don't you ever want to? You heard the story, of course, from the guys from KLF. But they wrote a book about how to write hit songs, and they proved it like 3 times in a row, that they could do it. You guys have the talent, you have the means, you could write hits if you want to.
Yeah, but like I was saying before, our own I don't know, snobbiness, our own conscience, our own attention span kind of stops us from doing that. And also there is more to it than just writing a hit. People have to actually like you. I mean, any amount of X Factor contestant with the best songwriter in the world you've seen fall flat on their face because there just isn't an appeal.
Yeah, but also that's about, the whole X Factor thing is about making television, not about making great music. Nobody gives a fuck, and they're singing covers all the time anyway.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes the song isn't that good, and it can be, but it can be a hit because it's with the right band at the right time. Like that massive string of Kings of Leon hits, Some of them were good, some of them just weren't. They were just like as good as any of their songs, but because at the time was right and people really were in love with them at that time, they all were really, really massive songs.
Yeah,
And that's
or talk about Coldplay. I mean, they didn't. I mean, they just reinvented the same song again and again and again and again and again and again, and they still play like arenas.
yeah, what's the right song? It's a good song.
So you have to write one good song and copy it 10,000 times, yeah?
We are fans of like big hits because you can have a big hit that's just an incredible song, like Single Ladies or Crazy in Love, like that sort of thing. We try and disassociate coolness, I guess, but although Beyonce is cool, I suppose, but like even someone not cool could come out with a great song and we'd still appreciate it just as a song, and we'd probably try and steal stuff from it. Like I think we're kind of quite magpie-like in that way. We'll just kind of go, oh, that's quite good what they've done there, even if they didn't realise what they were doing. But I think the appeal, though, is for us, for our fans, is that we are slightly awkward and we don't quite fit into a particular thing. And that's the same with our music. It's like we just kind of try and combine things that maybe people didn't think should be combined. And
That's how great music should be, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like it can easily go wrong though. You have to be careful doing that. But yeah, that's the exciting thing for us, is putting things together to make something new. Being kind of like alchemists or mad scientists or whatever people have called us before. Rather than, you hear some, like going back to X Factor, you hear some songs that are so bland because they've had like 6 writers doing it and the lyrics that mean a thing. And I think if nothing else, we want to have songs that have character, in the lyrics and in the music, and that even if people think they're annoying or whatever, like at least they can say it's a strong flavour. That's what we like about music, I think, and that's what we're always kind of looking for when we're writing stuff. And so we never want to be boring. That's the one thing I think we never want to be.
Well, that's the thing you definitely achieved. I think it's a pleasure to listen to your album, and I don't say that a lot.